So the question you get asked 10 times a day from every actor you ever meet, how do I get an agent? It's an interesting question. It's a difficult question to answer because there might not be an answer, but how do you answer?
Is that like how do you get to Hollywood? Take Franklin?
That's right. That was a long pause.
Well, it's a big question.
Right.
And
can we talk about first though what they're really asking in that question? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's I'm not where I want to be.
Yeah.
Someone else can get me where I want to be.
And if I only had an agent,
right.
a different agent, a better agent, or an agent at all.
So how do I find Obi-Wan Kenobi who will lead me to the promised land?
Yeah, I have no idea.
So to be clear, for those of you keeping score at home, you've been doing this 35 years.
Yeah.
If I may, casting some of the greatest actors in the world for some of the greatest directors in the world. I'm almost done directing some of the greatest actors in the world. You deal with actors all the time, and you don't know how one of them can get an agent.
Well, I know how they can try, but the real answer is that's not the most important thing, or
right.
Here's a better response to that. You can get an agent by doing the most extraordinary work all the time in your life, in your career, wherever it is, whether it's in class or in a small theater somewhere, or if you're making your own show or your own web series or writing your own thing. And you do enough of that cumulatively that you become undeniable, and people out there in the ether, in the business, start to hear about it and find out about it and start to come to you. So you're doing this little play somewhere off Broadway, or you're doing it somewhere in LA in a little 50-seat theater, and you're
right.
doing amazing work, and then someone tells somebody else about it, someone else about it, and then some casting assistant comes and sees you, and that casting assistant tells her boyfriend, who happens to be an assistant to an agent, and the person is pursuing their own career, and they tell the agent, and then the agent comes to see the show and wants to have a conversation with you. And that may take 30 days, and it may take 10 years. And you have to be okay with it taking 10 years. Because that's the question I would ask back. What if it took 10 years for you to get an
right.
agent?
And so sometimes you have that on the other hand. But we deal with and we know that to be true. We peek behind the curtain and we know, we see this thing. But someone thinks, well, I just need better headshots. Or I got to meet the right person or maybe I go to an acting class and I can ask Risa,
or a casting director workshop,
that sort
or
of thing.
yada yada. Yeah,
so and I think what that does is it undermines the weight required to be an actor that an agent says, I'm going to take my attention away from these 4 to 10 or 12 actors who put my kids through college and pay my mortgage and who, you know what I mean? Because it's a business.
Yeah.
To this person who just needs better. You have to get your mind right about all this stuff.
You do.
And I think it's an important question that you ask back, because it forces people to move away from this microwavable drive-through version of a career to, what does this mean to me? Why am I doing this?
And how do I take, so I say to you as an actor, how do you want to take responsibility so that you have the tools for an agent or a manager to look at you and say, you can make me money. Right. Together we can do, because at the end of the day, it is business.
Right.
And agents are not, they talk about, I don't want to work with developmental clients, it infuriates me some of the time. So what else would you be doing? Why wouldn't you be working with people who you have to develop? But it's a business.
They're trying to pay their rent.
They're trying to get ahead, and they're trying to,
sure.
And when you look at the numbers, if you're somebody who might, in a good year, have 4 guest spots in 1 commercial, they're going to walk away making 10 grand off of you, and they're going to kill themselves for you. So what you have to do is take responsibility. You have to provide all of the material so that you become so undeniable. There's an actress who recently, I will do what I can for actors all the time, and I do.
Yeah.
And I get frustrated, to be perfectly honest, when I put an actor out there and I know this actor to be extraordinary, and agents and managers saying, I just can't. I've got 10 people like her. Or I can't sell him because I don't have, he doesn't have a reel.
Right.
There's an actress who came to me and needed a manager, and what she brought to the table was a whole portfolio of extraordinary work. She had made a movie, and she had made her own web series, and she had a decent reel, and she wrote. And so I could take that, and it was actually concrete, and I could put it forth in front of a number of managers and say, here's this actress who I love. who's really talented, but here's her stuff. And people went, oh my goodness, wow, I can do something with that. And I think that's what a lot of actors, will come to me or to us first and say, how do I get an agent, when they don't have any of that they don't have those tools with them. So my answer is, go make stuff.
Sure.
Go create this. Have plays where you've gotten great reviews. Make your own web series. Make a film. Be a part of something. Get a juicy reel together where we can see the full breadth and depth of your experience and your talent, and then you put it in front of people, and they'll be foaming at the mouth for it. That's what happened with this actress.
So then the work of getting an agent is the work of creating value as an actor.
Exactly.
And how do you do that? By doing the damn work.
Yeah.
And I think it's an antiquated notion that, because the business has changed, that you're going to walk up and some gatekeeper is going to dust you off and pull you up to the promised land.
Yeah.
It's just not like that anymore.
The business is way too fickle in a way, but it's also it's a business for one thing. There are tons and tons of actors out there who are just as talented as you are, and you can't. You've got to take responsibility for your own work and your own career, and therefore your own value.
It's so difficult to tell an actor who wants to get ahead, don't worry about it for 10 years.
It is, but it's something that has to shift, because it may not take 10 years if you start now. And you also have to be, listen, there are plenty of actors out there, and we've got actors here at the studio who are like that, who are brilliantly talented, but they don't want to write. They don't want to produce their own stuff. It may not be what they do well. But I say to them, then go find people who do that, so that you can go star in somebody's, you're so good, you could go star in somebody's short, or you can be a part of a collaborative group of people doing this kind of work. And so then you can hitch your wagon to their engine, or whatever the expression is.
Right. And again, you have to deal with how and why do you want this?
Yeah. Don't you agree, though?
Absolutely.
We were talking to Michael Sheen the other day, who was here at the studio, very generously talking to our actors. But that's what he's doing now. He's not sitting back and going, "Okay, I'm starring in a TV show, so I'm just going to sit around and eat cake." He's figuring out. He's creating his own thing that he's written, that he's just sold, that he's going to direct. Right? He's thinking about what theater he can do. He's looking at what films he can be a part of, and he's being scrappy even at this stage of his own success. Because there's no satisfaction in just sitting where you are. It's taking responsibility, moving forward, and creating work and creating a career in that, so that people just flock to you. And I believe that. Do you believe that?
Of course.
Yeah.